Welcome back to the Firearms Nation podcast. And if you are watching, this is our quote unquote second video podcast of the show, the Firearms Nation. And then you're listening, it's normal, the regular Firearms Nation podcast. But this is something that I'm going to be doing in 2023. I want to have both the same show being, a video podcast and an audio podcast, because I know some people like to watch these things, which is great. So it's something new, something exciting to do. And I'll say this, if you're watching this, be sure to subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, Spotify, the Firearms Nation podcast, so you can get the audio version. And likewise, if you're listening to this, we would love it if you would subscribe on YouTube to Firearms Nation. So today I am joined by Eric Grauffel, who has been a guest on the show before. He just won, again, the IPSC World Championships, and this makes him a 9-time world champion. If only the French soccer team had the abilities as Eric does, they might have won the World Cup. But here I am. I'm joined by Eric. Eric, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks for the presentation. It's
it was a great game. Did you watch it?
I watched the game, 100%. It was actually, a long game until the show starts around the 78, 79 minutes. I don't record exactly. We were already saying, okay, it's done. We're second, 100% sure, and then the show started, and the last, I would say, 40 minutes, I was living into it. I could feel the exact same feeling I had at some wall shoots, and it's great, cool.
Well, people think that we're making a joke. It is a little bit of a joke, but in all seriousness, I mean, it was a game. If you didn't watch the game, it was a great soccer game. You couldn't ask for a better world final. But the end came down to penalty kicks. And because it was a tied score and they already went into the extra time, and it was penalty kicks. So now it's more like what we do. We're up there. It's one person against one person, and the mental aspect of, you got 1 billion people watching you right now, and everything depends on you either making the kick or, if you're the goalie, stopping the kick. That's an incredible amount of. I know you face a lot of pressure, but that seems like that's a lot of pressure to take.
Well, definitely for those guys who makes millions and millions, and they're being shown on TV, and then whoever makes the goal, it's a good point for him for whatever he does, his contract, his image, and so on. For the goal to stop it, it's a great image. But those who are missing it, it destroys everything they've been building for years, or even not in their game, not, I would say, decades, but at least a decade for it. So, it's a lot to take, and I can only imagine how it is if you do one thing wrong and you go back and you have to justify to the rest of the team, because in our sport we are solo, so you justify to yourself, that's it. And let's say you justify to your sponsors or the family, but here it's a teamwork, so the amount of pressure, it's even probably greater than what we suffer, and what is at stakes is much greater for sure.
So for you, and you just came off of winning your final, or not final, but your last world championship, going into something like that, and again, like we just said, it's not the same in terms of the millions of dollars that they make, and then the amount of people that are watching, and then it's a team. But going into something like this, is your 9th time you're competing. How do you handle that kind of pressure?
It's hard to say. It's funny because I was discussing it not that long ago with different people from the shooting range, from the academy here. I love the sport, and I would say all the guys who are in the top Most of us, we like competition and we like the stress of the competition. We like to go for it and live for it and try to win your game. Now, if you sing is like, okay, you won once, and a couple of times, and I've said it to different people. I said winning the first time, I would say, is probably the most easiest one. I mean, you still have a lot to work and get it, but you're chasing. You have the target, you have the goal. The end goal is right in front of you, so you have the target. You catch it, you have it. That's fine. What we have seen is that a lot of people consider you to be, and that's in a lot of sports. If you look at that on the greater picture than just IPSC, people consider you to be a champion when you achieve to do it a second time, not necessarily in a row, but let's say a second time. And you can see that in tennis, you can see that in golf, you can definitely see that in in shooting, in soccer. You get the title once more, then you truly enter the fact that people sees you or perceives you as a champion in your sport. But some of us, a few of us, are like, okay, let's do once more and do once more. So you're pushing yourself. The problem is you're not getting younger in any kind. You're always getting older. And the sport, in our sport, at least in IPSC, we're getting younger. The sport is definitely getting younger. And I just before the World, I was training hard every day. I started even shifting my time before here, so waking up earlier and earlier, and until I wake up around 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was at the shooting range by 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, and I was practicing 2:30. So I have the exact time frame than Thailand. So the motivation is here. Your feelings are good. Emotions are there. You fly there, and you get in front of all the shooters. Everybody here, everybody knows you, everybody comes to you. You start making the pictures and so on, which is part of the of being the champion, and you try to defend that position, and so people see you. It's kind of pressure. The pressure starts coming into you. And at some point before the match start, I was like, dude, why are you putting yourself again in danger? Why do you need that? What the reason for it? And it gets in. It's like you're taking a risk. What that for? You've done enough at that point. Why are you going there? And I would say I don't have much of an answer beside that. I love the sport and I love competition. So I compete. That's what I do. That's what I like, and I like that stress. And I would say there's probably no reason than the fight to push the limit. And of course, that limit will crack sooner or later. If I keep going in myself, I don't see how I can handle it for years still. But because if I go for once more, what will happen? The risks are getting greater and greater and greater, and the more I'm getting older. And I got more to lose than to win at the end of the day. But still, competition, the need of performance, the need of stress, the need of doubts, probably. Yeah, all of that, probably.
So if you had to compete again, would you rather lose or not show up? Meaning the next world shoot, which is, I guess, 2 or 3 years, would you not go and just hold on to your 9 titles, or do you want to be defeated in battle and lose your consistency with how many titles you win?
There are several versions that we can say. First version is, let's say, quit and leave undefeated. That could be a good reason to leave, especially with 9 strikes in a row. Good luck with that for the one who's gonna work on it and get it. You have to start pretty young and stay focused, motivated, having the will for years and years and years and doing it again. That could be a reason. Maybe yes, maybe no. It's not sure. It's not clear in my mind. It was one of the idea I had already before that World Shoot, and still I get going. To tell you that I'm going to quit, hard to say because I still have one goal, and I won junior, and I mean in junior and overall in the same time when I was 19, so in 1999 in the Philippines, and I'd like to push the limit and see if I can do a senior and an overall in the same time. But that to be an open where is my heart goes. So, and that's only in the 6 years time. That means I have to keep fighting. I have to battle, and if I'm still there by then, I'd love to do that. At least give a try. And I know that being senior, the body is not answering the same way that it is when you're 20 or 30s. The life might change, the health might change. So, but that would be a goal. That's definitely something I have in mind, and I would like to maybe prove myself, but also maybe prove the world, prove the shooters that the age is one thing, but it's all about mental and I would say knowledge of the game to that would make your performance. So that would be another reason to stay and compete still for now. The last one will be to be defeated, and honestly, I'm already prepared for a long time, and that's for years. I'm preparing myself to lose. I'm prepared for one, but I'm not prepared for the other one. Basically, I'm prepared to lose for a younger one. I'm prepared to lose for someone that has a junior, 20 years old, 25 years old, 30 years old. I'll live with it with no big deal. Maybe 35 years old. I'll have a hard time, but I will accept it if I'm get beaten by somebody 1 or 2 years younger, because I would say it's the same age. But that's it. I will take it. The worst would be to be beaten by an older one. Not saying that I'm not getting older, and I'm getting older myself, but mentally that I'm really prepared to lose, to give it for anyone who's ready for the fight. But it has to be. It has to be. For me, it has to be a younger one, because I think this is how the sport should go, not the other way around.
So do you think that person's Christian Seiler?
Could be.
He's young enough?
Oh, he's young enough, definitely. He's much younger than me, that's for sure. He's talented, definitely. Now, a game is a game. Are you holding the pressure? Can you hold the pressure? Can you play the game? Are you ready to get the beat for a certain period of time and wait to strike? Or are you strong enough to go and strike from the beginning and hold the lead? You never know how the game will go. You never know which type of game. IPSC, it's not standard. The game could be more accuracy orientated, or the game could be more speed orientated. Sometimes we have a good mix, and our sport can change all the time. But yeah, he could be the one.
So this year you competed in production.
Production, yep.
And that was for the world shoot. That was the biggest division. Now, interesting is I looked at the statistics for USPSA, which is the American version for the people that don't know. In the production nationals, they had 108 competitors. In the carry optics nationals, they had 427. Now, granted, there were different matches. Sometimes they have everyone competing at the same time, kind of like at the World Shoot this year. So you had to pick which one you were going to go to. But a lot of people, I don't think they call it production optics in IPSC. I don't think
production.
Yeah, I don't think it had the same kind of draw that USPSA had for carry optics. So 2 questions. Why did you go to production this year? And why don't you think it's as popular in Europe, or is it just simply because it was a combined match?
It's getting popular clearly here. We can see it in Europe, and we can see it clearly in France. For us, production, I would say for CZ, for the brand, production and production optic are actually the 2 most produced pistol. It's the same base, Shadow 2 for us. And it's the division where we need to be clearly represented. So the choice to me was clear to get there inside the team from the CZ shooting team. Me and Michal Stepan on top with Herman Hamitelli from Argentina, who took the trophy. Roman, if you hear that, well done. It's just a transfer. The point was to bring the production gun, the Shadow 2 pistol, as close as possible to the top with a stronger team, and I think we did it. Second reason is we signed up Khalil Viray, the young Filipino, junior Filipino, to shoot standard. And I was supposed to go standard at the start, and since he decided to join us, and it's his main division, it was logical to give him his chance because he has the real potential to make the win. So the point is also for a team, for a factory, is to cover as many as we can in order to strike out the most trophy, the most medals we can. And we had Robin Chebo, the team leader captain from the CZ team in open, who is like, I would say, within the top 5 in the world, is right there. Unfortunately, he's not on the podium, but is right there. So we had enough of possibilities to play the CZ team all around the different podiums. So yeah, the choice was really made in that version, because just 2 months before we shot the world shoot, I was shooting the French nationals, and I shot it, of course, production as I was practicing for production, but I shot it also open division during that match. So I got some of the guys who were here at the world shoot were present at the French national. So it was still an option also potentially to go there, but most likely production was the goal already from the very beginning.
Do you find, you had said that open is your favorite, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you find going back and forth between having the dot and then having the sights, and having the dot, having the sights causes you not to be as confident in what you're doing? Obviously you won, so it doesn't really matter, but in your mind, is it more of a challenge? Because I know from people I've spoken to, or even from myself, that I like the dot, and once I've gone to the dot, now going back to iron sights I don't know, it's not as exciting, I should say.
Well, depend what you call the excitement, or where do you place the excitement. For me, it's clear that shooting both, and I still train both. When I train the dot, it brings me speed for the iron sights. Clearly, that's I can see that when I shoot, and I'm feeling way more comfortable when it comes to fast shooting, faster splits. Trying to sometimes take some different sequence, whether the production guys, the regular production guys, would do like maybe just one target before the swinger. I'll push for 2 targets just because I got the feeling I can do it. And clearly, if I was not shooting open, I would probably stay in a more standardized style production shooting. On the other side, because I shoot the production, and in production, you had that request of shooting ace basically only. Every C's hurts in production dramatically. I felt that my open got more accurate. So maybe I dropped down 1%, 2% of speed, but I brought up so much points more that I used to drop, simple Charlies, see here, but that, let's say, less than half a hinge or less than a hinge from the A. And what happened, that the hit factor, the performance got higher. And so then, you like balancing, okay, Formula One is great, open is great, but...
That's IndyCar in the United States.
Yeah. But
we don't know Formula One.
Well, you have the Formula One now in the US. So
yeah, I know. It's not as popular, though. NASCAR is the biggest one.
Yeah, I know, it's true.
Okay.
It's like US football and soccer. So.
Exactly.
Um, Now, all in one, the combination of both, I think, changed me and made me the way I shoot, the way I perceive the divisions. Now I'm getting older. Not saying my eyes are going down, but 43 years old, I'm not that sure my eyes are that sharp with the iron sight. So I'm clearly in the need to do a little bit more dot for the time being. I think I can still survive a couple of years maybe with the sights, but I'm not that sure that they will be that sharp that long anymore. So we'll see.
Does that mean you're going to venture into production optics?
Possibly.
Now, when you're
Possibly.
shooting your irons, I know a lot of people have said that they'll shoot their fiber like they're shooting their dot. Is that something that you do? Do you use a fiber optic? Or are you still using black sights?
I use fiber optic, but I'm using both techniques. I'm using precision technique and fiber technique, and the fiber technique is based on the dots, on using an open gun or production optic gun, so with a target focus system. But clearly, when I use the front sight itself, let's say the post, then it's a sight focus.
Okay. At all ranges or?
Oh yeah, Actually, it depends the situation, depend the shot, depend the distance, depends situation, what needs to be done at that moment right now. So unfortunately, I don't shoot. So that's coming back to what you're saying. You said that you have less fun with iron sights than you do have with the dot. For me, the fun is not necessarily the gun I shoot. It's the performance that I can deliver on that spot, and the performance is based on the competition, because delivering a performance by yourself at the training range means nothing. Everybody is a world champion at the training range if you cannot compare yourself to someone else. And the comparison is not what you can do by repeating 10 times the same thing. It's the performance that you can deliver at the moment that needs to be done. That's what is, to me, sexy. So no matter which gun you shoot, you need to deliver.
So,
and that's the game.
Yeah, that's the game. And speaking of that game, so the delivery, right? That gets back to the beginning of what we were talking about, the mental aspect. So you're saying, yeah, you can do something 10 times in the range and everything, but can you do that at the match? So how much mental preparation or mental game do you do going into a match?
Compared to training, 100% of my training is mental prepared. So there's no reps at all. I don't work on the reps system. Repetition doesn't exist in my day life routine. Everything is single time shot, single time use. Whatever you've done, it's done. Good, happy, no good. That's it. And can I do it better? Too bad. You should have done it before. So everything is done on delivering a performance at the training. And since I'm not repeating, I have no way to track it. So which is complicated. For a lot of people, they like to track the performance and try to see, did you improve? Yeah, maybe yes, maybe not. But how can you track your performance in competition, since whatever you shoot in competition is absolutely not what you do at training? Unless maybe I would say the classifiers that you guys shoot in the US, but we don't do that. In Europe, at least, we don't do it. Some of the countries does that, the IPSC classifiers, but most of us, we don't do classifiers here. So how can you compare what you can do at the training and what you can do in competition, since the base is absolutely not the same? There's no way you can track it.
So you're teaching people. How do you help them get better with that mental performance that they have to do when they get to the range? Or not to the range, but to the match?
First point is to destroy them. No, I'm kidding. No, the first thing is like, all right, let's you simply do an exercise, build up an exercise, and you put them in front. Give me something. So they shoot. So they shoot, and you say, okay, what are the mistakes? They give you the mistake they see. Then I'll report what mistakes I see from my point of view, and I tell them. Then I ask them, actually, Could you do it better? 99.9% of the answers is yes. Then the question comes, why you didn't do it from the beginning? Now, what would be your answer in that case? Because most of them, they are not sure. They're adopting which sequence are we shooting the targets? Should I do that movement? I'm not so sure. Yeah, but you're on the spot. It's now. It's not tomorrow. It's not in the second run when you get a reshoot. You're not getting any reshoot. So now you put them in front of that, and they have to face that. And we say, okay, let's do another one. So you build another one. So you don't have to build, actually. You just give a new sequence based on what you've built already. You know, positions, cones, and it doesn't matter in the training if it is a logical way to run the stage, since you just run it once. And if you're in a group of shooters and you're training with friends, everybody run it once, based on whatever start position you decided, or based on, you say, this is the first box is this one, the last position will be this one. All the rest, you can shoot it the way you want. Then you can strategize, no matter what, you can strategize the situation in order to deliver performance. And then thereof, you're coming into a certain mode where your brain is spinning in order to optimize every details. That is the exact same thing that you do in competition. However, nobody trains that.
No. Yeah, and I think sometimes too, you got to compete in order to get better at competition. Because I'm trying to think, I think it was Steve Anderson. I had him on not that long ago. He said, it's not always the best shooter who wins the match. It's the best competitor who wins the match.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Because you can be a great shooter, yeah, but you fall apart or you had a bad match, or something happens to you. Because it's a very fluid situation when you're at these matches.
And you know, a best competitor is still still a very wide way to say it. For practical shooting, USPSA, IPSC, doesn't matter. We don't ask you to be the best at everything. It's impossible. You can't be the best at shooting on a move. You can't be the best at shooting targets, moving targets. You can't be the best at, I don't know, just moving position to position. You can't be the best of all of those. So you can target one or two that are your, let's say, favorite ones. They are your best. They are your weapons, let's say, to strike when you need to. And if you have the possibility to during the competition, it doesn't mean that the competition will offer you the possibilities to strike where you are the best at. The other ones, you need just to be good. Good enough so that you don't make mistakes. Because at the end of the day, what makes the difference, it's not the guy who's going to win by the fact he did a better run than all the others. It's the fact that most likely he did less mistakes than all the others. That makes you win. So can we say that? Can we say it's about being a good competitor is being let's say less of a I don't know how you call that, mistaker, or less of a loser on the sense of making wrong your stages. No, but you see what I mean.
Right. The person who's better at not making mistakes, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah.
So for you at your level, you know, people look at you and like, he doesn't make any mistakes. But what is the most challenging aspect? Like, say at the World Shoot, what was challenging for you?
Being as much clear of a mistake as I can. And it didn't start it very well. My very first stage, I clipped the no-shoot. But just, you know, I'm in the Super Squad production, and I would say first half, or maybe a little bit closer to the very first shooter. I've seen a couple of good runs thereof, and it was a 12-round stage, pretty much straightforward, unless we had on the first stage a runner, swinger on the runner, and the target was actually a target and a no-shoot board. like that. I do my run, first shot, plate, I don't know, 12, 13 yards clean. Shoot on the move, target, shoot a popper on the move, which is the activator, shoot another target, and I come to the swinger and I go pook, pook, pook. First shot in, second shot clearly out, third shot I nailed, not even nailed, just clipped the no shoot, 2/3 of my shot in the alpha zone, so full out stage. First 2/3 of the shot in the alpha zone, 1/3 touching the white guy, and of course, breaking the scoring line. And that's the first stage of the wall shoot. And I'm like, seriously, I shot clean, I aim hard, not necessarily the fastest time, but a good time. And told myself, I was like, seriously, God, is that really the way you want to play that thing, that wall shoot? Like putting me down on the very first stage? You know? Because that's killing. That's, first stage, I won't say I was confident, definitely not on that. Nobody could be confident on such a target, but nothing, I saw everything clear. And even, you see the shot being centered alpha, just necked the no shoot. The white guy is like, ah! It's not like one bad shot that, okay, you got it, you got a mic and a no shoot and it's clear, no discussion. It's just like, but yeah, it is what it is. So mentally, it's hard. You start by that. I won't say that you start your game in the best scenario it could. But after what it's done is done. Nothing you can do. So you need to move on. You have 29 stages to move your way up and do your thing. And that's it. I did work. And end of my first day, I was in the lead, but by 2 points, 2 points. But at the end of the day, that was my goal, be in the lead. Not the strong lead, I don't care, just be in the lead. And keep on going every day like that. Next day is a new match, new 6 stages. Forget what is done, move to the next one. Try to win your day. Do it again, and so on, and keep on going until it goes to the last day.
How do you prepare for, World Shoot it's definitely its own thing. And like I said, it's every 3 years. But for a major match, what are the steps that you go through to prepare to go to a match like that?
Well, it starts long before. It starts that, let's say, at least 2 months before. The guns must be, ready, confirmed, ammunition ready, and confirmed. So that means everything is set so that the equipment, we are sure 100% it is working, it is confirmed, it has been tested and checked, and so on. Then after that process, you process the training, and the training goes up in volume and in hours, bit by bit. So 2 months before, it's a training every day. It's a 500 a day. Towards the end of the first month, we're reaching the 1,000, and the last 30 days, the first 15 days of the last 30 days, we're running 1,000, 1,200 a day, every day, nonstop. Sometimes one run, 1,200 in about 2 hours, and sometimes it's split, two different training sessions, morning and afternoon. The last 15 days, volume goes up to 2,000 to 2,500 a day. Same story. Sometime one run, it's a one go, or it could be split. In that case here for Thailand, since I was not traveling there in advance in order to get used, I start shifting about a week before my time. So I start transferring half an hour every day, waking up early, going to bed earlier than usual, so I can train on the time frame. So it was night here, so I can train early morning and go to the gym, do my work. And I was at the end, just before flying, I was at sleep 5 p.m. so I can wake up 1 a.m. So yeah, it's all of that for the training. In terms of training itself at the range, I do lots of basics, transitions, shooting on the move. I did a lot of prone because I've seen there was a prone shooting. I wasn't sure what it was, and I freaked out when I saw the prone, which I did well actually, but I freaked out when I saw it at the match. But I was happy that I trained it hard here, and at the training I nailed so many no shoots. I made some tight shots because we were expecting like some hard shots, and I'm happy that I did that here, and I've nailed so many no shoots in the last months here at training. That was hard mentally, but it paid off. At the end of the day, it paid off because when I saw the targets, they were like 15 yards, 16 yards, 17 yards with no shoots and stuff. But we trained 20 yards, 22 yards, 25 yards at the range. So it doesn't mean that you're 100% confident, but at least you can do it. It's not like something I haven't done it and I'm not prepared. No, I've done it. Yes, there's a risk. I nailed the white guy, but if you take your time, you take the proper side picture, it should work. So.
And I'm sure I've asked this before, but how much dry fire are you doing, or is it strictly? I mean, if you're shooting 2,000 rounds a day, that's a lot of live fire. So how much dry fire? You don't dry fire.
Zero. If I shoot, I don't dry. I don't do dry fire. I've shot, so that's the same. I've done the job. I've done it already. And once again, dry fire, it's too much based for me on repetition. So there's a few things that, yes, I agree we can do on dry fire, but not everything. You need to shoot at some point. You need to have the return information of the hit on your board that will tell that's a good hit, that's not a good hit. You did it great or you did it wrong. And that you don't have that on dry fire. Unless maybe you have a castle and then maybe you can have a laser dry fire system that pull your target at 25 yards or 30 yards. But most of the people, when we dry,
I just want to tell
30 feet.
Yeah, of course. I mean, most people just have, maybe there's an apartment that they can shoot down the hallway or dry fire down the hallway. But I just want to say something so people know, frame of reference. I am talking to Eric, who's in France, and he's at his shooting range. So the people here in the background, if you're picking up on that, those are people who are either students, customers, or employees of this range. So it's a new range. I know you were, last time I had you on, which was I think 2 years ago, maybe right after COVID came out.
Mm-hmm.
You were in the process of building it, so it's built now. Obviously, this is your academy and your range, or is it combined ownership with CZ? What is it?
Yeah, it is. It is my range. We're working with CZ on this range. It is. It's so in square meters. In square meters, the shooting galleries is 1,900 square meters, which is about 19,000 square feet, if I'm not mistaken. That give us 5 bays for IPSC. We can use that for IPSC. We have a target range, 25 yards. We have a steel challenge or gongs, and the way you want to call it, in another bay, and then 3 bays completely dedicated to IPSC for now. Unless when we shoot competition, I can. If you just give me a second, I'll just show you quickly for those who are watching. But I'll just move around quickly.
And as a host, this is the time that's most nerve-wracking, as if something's going to stop working as while we're doing this.
All right.
Okay.
Don't stop driving if you're listening. But that you can see the indoor range there. So different things. There's the training right now ongoing. So they are running on the stage as we speak. Some guys are just coming just to shoot. So we have trainings going for the members. We got trainings going every day, pretty much. I teach people about 2 or 3 days a week right now. So we got already international coming over to train here at the facility, because since it's indoor range, we can train the whole season, wintertime, summertime. We're not affected by any rain or nothing. Everything is controlled. On one side, it's great. Of course, on another side, when you go to shoot outdoor, we don't have all these aspects of an outdoor shooting range. So there are advantages of being an indoor range, but also, of course, you're not 100% prepared for the outdoor in a certain way. However, you can train the whole year long with no limit. You know, as I was saying, I was here for preparation in Thailand like 2 a.m. in the morning. We are inside the town. Nobody asks. You can't hear anything from the parking. You can't hear we're shooting indoor. You hear nothing. So you get there, turn on the light, shoot. 3 a.m. go home. So you're good.
Are you doing? I know you just said that you're doing training and teaching there, but I know a lot of people have started their online coaching and groups like that. I do know that you have a masterclass type video series. I don't know if it's come out or not. I couldn't tell from the site.
Yeah.
You do have it coming up.
Yeah, we did a season 1 already.
Okay.
And it's online. People can register and they get access to the videos. They can view it again, and it's available for a certain period of time. And now we are preparing.
What it was.
Yeah, and we are now preparing the season 2 with a lot of good stuff like shooting on the move, moving targets, how to shoot those target transitions, hit factors, the math to be done. So that will be an episode not about shooting, but about doing the math and what is the best. Trying to find out what's the best way to shoot it for you without talking about tactics, but just having the big lines that says, okay, here, the stage, I have to shoot it like this. And then you build your tactic based on what the math tells you. Say, not doing whatever you want, thinking that that's the best way to do it. But if what you think is the best way to do it is the wrong way to shoot to perform, there's no need. So everything is here personally for me, it's based on really what needs to be done to deliver a performance, and not necessarily to what I would like to make or feel myself happy that I did shoot very well that stage. At the end of the day, nobody cares about that. You care about your final result, whether you're happy how the way you shot it or not.
This is coming out, I believe, in March. Is that what I read on the site?
If everything goes well, I hope yes, in March.
Okay, and I'll attach a link so people can go check it out and sign up. But what about online coaching? Do you have students that check in with you and
yes,
do drills?
I do. I actually do private, so people get in touch with me, and we do a session like 45 minutes session. So it's really a one-on-one. Based on what they would like, what they want to speak about specifically. Could be technique, could be watching their video, debriefing their video from the match, debriefing the videos from the training, or just specifically I need an explanation on the draw. Can you explain me how to draw or mag change and so on. So it's really a one-on-one version and not a group version.
Okay. I have to say, you don't have like a website or anything for people to go to. I know you have your store.
Too many requests. I cannot duplicate myself, like an Asian would say. So no, I got already quite a lot. So
I bet.
So it's hard right now. I got a few guys who told me, yeah, but how do I get with you? I said, right now I'm full. That's my problem. So I wish I could, but the people we are already connected. I'm working with. I cannot throw them away. I'm still working with them. So as soon as I get an open spot, then I can put someone in. But it's not that simple, and that's the reason why we also built the range here, because I got my team here can actually handle all the new shooters and get them started, prep them, or those who are let's say IPSC or USPSA shooters, but they just shot for a year or two, so they can already start my way of teaching, my techniques, my principles, let's say, with them before I get the guys to work with me. So that gave me a little bit more freedom. So I managed to bring in new people into my group, but it goes so quick. So it's not that simple to teach pretty much every day and still get the time to do some other stuff.
Last time we were talking, you had just made that switch over to CZ, and it's been several years, and you just shot production with a CZ. So was that a gun that was your custom build, or is this a gun that's still a CZ? It's not like the Grauffel special.
No, it's when I arrived, I started to shoot with the Shadow 2, the regular one, and they were already in the process of getting the Shadow 2 orange. So I switched to the orange, the one with the bushing and the match barrel. But we didn't do a specific gun right now. We are now working. We worked the TS2 orange with different requests, and they build up the things. And the process now, we want to move on and start building new stuff. We already have processes onto it, so the future will be cool. We're gonna have new products, especially we are involving way more the shooting team to push. Of course, there's a lot of requests from the market, from the shooters, what they would like to have. CZ being a big company, it's not simple to push new product, but with the processes on, and the future will be very interesting for what will come year by year now.
That's very cool. So, in wrapping up, what's in store for you for 2023 besides the online course? What are you gearing up for?
Well, I got that. We got the TS2 orange, which was launched at the Wall Shoot, so the new standard gun. So that will be definitely the gun I will shoot most of the year, of course, to do the promo. Been working on that gun for the past year. We want to push it. Of course, we're gonna do a lot of promo. We started doing some videos into it. That's one thing. It will be the European Championship by September. So we already have the level 4 coming up. You guys in the US had your level 4 before the Wall Shoot, which was actually pretty cool because it's a good preparation for the Wall Shoot. We have our level 4, let's say, a few months afterward. But it is what it is. We also have the PCC Wall Shoot coming, which was in the US, and for some reason US withdraw, so it's now in Czech Republic. Closer for us for Europe, no time change, so that, I'm not a PCC shooter, but I'll enjoy it, so I'll probably do just go shoot. Whatever happen, but that will be more for very much the fun for me, and bringing the national team, because I've been in charge now for the last year and a half, 2 years, of the national team in France, to select who's going and who's not going, and so I'm in charge also for the PCC team. We got that. And that's it already. That's quite a lot. Enough for the year. Plus everything that runs, which is going right now. Growing the academy. Academy is new. It's we need to build the customer base, build the shooters that come here regularly, those who want to come for courses, and bringing more international. We had a lot of politics coming last week because we did the grand opening. So we got the mayor, the police, military police, and so on. So people come to see and visit. So there's also all this part of the job to be done to make the sport being known. It's shooting in France is not the same than in the US. Needs a lot of work and not a lot of explanation to see what we're doing. And I think what we've built here, the academy, being a facility which is new, accessible for the youth, accessible for the women's, makes it very a good place to advertise the sport, the shooting sport, and the shooting activities in France and in Europe.
Will you be at SHOT Show?
Definitely, I'll be there.
Okay. So if people
Yep.
want to see Eric, you can go to SHOT Show. I'm not going this year, but it's a good time if you've never been there. And are you going to be with CZ or with Arms Corps or both?
I'll be at Arms Corps. I'll be visiting CZ, of course. I'll be also I can say it at 511. So yeah, I'll be all around.
Good.
Touring around. So catch me in the alleys. I'll be there. I'll answer the question.
Awesome. Well, people, they want to reach you. It's Instagram is your primary.
No, I would say email or WhatsApp.
Email or WhatsApp. Okay, yeah, because we're still in America. We're not like the world that loves WhatsApp, but so.
My daughter, she's 14. She's actually taking care of my Instagram, and she does a very good job, I must say. So if you text me on WhatsApp or if you send a message on WhatsApp, I will probably see it, but give me probably a 2 or 3 days margin before shouting at me, because sometimes I'm doing something else and I'm not necessarily on Instagram every day. So, but yes, Instagram is okay.
Awesome. And again, I'll put all this in the show notes or the show description. But Eric, thanks. It's always great catching up with you, and congratulations again for another world shoot.
Thank you.
It's great for the sport to see someone having that much talent and dedication, and to see the hunger that these other people want to dethrone you. So it's exciting. It's good drama. But again, congratulations. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you. Thanks, Eric. Thanks a lot.